rather. 257. Does anybody know the significance of that number? Anybody? 257?
Can I set the strawberry lemonade with a straw? Can I have some?
It's the number of days since the 2016 election. And how about 108? Anybody know what 108 is? The days until Election Day 2017. 108 days. And that is when, in 108 days, we start to take our country back.
Yes. Yes.
Right. And we're going to do that one state, one county, and one town at a time. And here in Cornwall, we're going to do that by supporting 3 great local candidates. Bill Brain, I'm scanning.
Bill Brain.
Where do I see? Carla Castillo. Where's Ginny? There's Ginny Scott. And we're also going to do it at the county level, and we're going to get to hear about that in a minute. But I want to tell you that your support really counts, and really, this is a Progressive Cornwall fundraiser. It's a potluck. In the past, it's been really focused on issues, which is fantastic, and we have to keep doing that. Today, we're focused on supporting candidates and their campaigns. So every dollar counts. If you can give $1, please give $1. If you can give $5, give $5. You can give 50 or more, give that, please. And I am going to put my money where my mouth is. I have 3 checks written out to the 3 campaigns. Thank you very much. And with that, I think it is, what did I do?
The steering committee, you've seen members of the steering committee here today. We are expanding as an organization, and we would like to expand as a steering committee. So we've put out the call for new members. We're going to be looking for new members in the next month or so. So if you have a sense that you'd like to be a part of this exciting new movement, please give us a call. Talk to any of us here today. We've already had, we've heard from several really exciting candidates who want to join us. So we're building out, and we really need your help. We need some people who are energetic, who really want to work for the community, work for progressive candidates. So please let us know today if you have any interest in jumping in. It's a fair amount of work, but it's really good work. And we've made a lot of inroads, as you just heard, helping the Cornwall Democratic Committee build out. And we're really looking forward to working for our local candidates as well as our candidates at the county level. So on that note, Ted.
So I'm going to sort of talk about the different candidates that we have here today and folks that are running. Before I do that, though, I just wanted to remind everyone, those who have given, thank you very much for your generosity. It's wonderful. But there are also plenty of opportunities to volunteer for the different campaigns. You can do whatever you feel comfortable with, whatever is sort of your thing. All of these candidates that are here today can use people that can do phone banking, that can do door hangers, literally walking around the neighborhood. When the time comes, we need people to drive folks to the polls. All the usual election stuff. One of the most important things you can do is share information about these candidates online with your Facebook friends and on Instagram and Snapchat, right? Who's got Snapchat?
What's that?
Someone raised their hand.
Good to know. Good to know.
And really, probably the most important thing you can do is talk about these candidates and what they stand for and what they're running on face to face with your friends, with your family, folks here in town. And folks in the county too, because as you see, we're going to be hearing from folks at the town level and above. So that's the way we're going to work. I'm going to go down the list alphabetically, I guess. So we're going to start with Bill Brain, who is running for the town board.
Yes.
I'm not going to stand on the rock either, because
because that looks like Sermon on the Mount, and I don't make any claims to anything like that. But somebody has alluded to this already, that after the November 2016 election, I woke up one day and said, all right, it's time to start changing this. And I wrote to Tom and I said, let's go to the Democratic Committee meeting. I don't understand how many people are there. I don't know what goes on. Let's just go explore. I said, let's invite all our friends. So we showed up that day with 30-something people, which I think John was very grateful and Dick was very grateful, and we were glad to have a room full of people who were on the same side of a set of issues. And at the same time, a group of people said, you know what, that's great. Politically, we should really be working together to get the best candidates into office and to, you know, push the party, the Democratic Party. But there's more at stake here than just party politics. It's really about how do we get progressive values into place across the nation. And those values are things like human rights, voting rights, transparency and accountability in government, progress in the environmental sphere, and, you know, just not just preserving what we have, but growing what we need to grow, and making sure that as we grow and as change happens, we're there to guide it. So I was asked recently, you know, why are you running for office? Is this a lark? There was this kind of note I got from a disagreeable person. But one of the questions there was, are you for change, and what change? And my answer, which I did not relay, but my answer to myself was, am I for change? That's like, am I for gravity? It's like, change happens. It's, you know, look at Main Street in Cornwall right now. Without the right kind of stewardship of the property owners and things like that, things decay. Buildings change over time. When you look at the rising Hudson River because of climate change, change is here. And the question is, how do we react to change? So you can either be passive and let it happen to you and then feel good or bad about what happens, or you can be resistant and fight against change and say change is bad and we should freeze everything and try to not have any change at all. Or you can guide your change, you can plan. And you can create a better environment for change to happen where it's to the benefit of all the people who live in the place where you live. That's why I'm running, because I think that, you know, with the help of Dick Randazzo, who's running for town supervisor again, and with Carla, and with Ginny at the county level, and with Pat, who we'll talk to soon, I think we can guide the change, and Michael on the council already, I think we can guide the change that's going to happen to us no matter what we want to happen. So let's work together and do that, and I hope I can count on your vote, and I appreciate all your donations and all of the incredible hard work that has been put in by everybody here, including the Democratic Committee, John, and all of you. So thanks so much, I really appreciate it.
I don't think I could say it better than what Bill said. It's absolutely true that change is something that all of us have to go through on a regular, everyday basis, and my focus in recent professional life has been around conservation and the environment, and so I'm very concerned about what types of changes we have to plan for in the future in Cornwall. And as chair of the Conservation Advisory Council, I've been working very hard in partnership with Dick, in partnership with Michael, to make sure that we're planning for these changes. But as Bill said, we need to expand the influence of folks who are progressive, liberal, democratic-minded, so that we can try to think of innovative ideas to address these issues that we're going to be facing, rather than saying no, or it is not possible, or let's just keep it the same old way that it has been in the past. So I look forward, I'm so excited to be on the same running slate as our future county executive, Pat Davis. And so I think that all of us combined can make a really tremendous, significant impact in the coming years. But as Ted said, as Lynn has said, as everybody is going to say, we need your help. This is an off year. People don't come out and vote as much on off years. You need to tell everybody you know to come out and vote and support this change, because I think we all really want it desperately, and so we need your support. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for Amy and Jack and Tim and the Democratic Committee and Progressive Cornwall, most importantly, for hosting this. It's really exciting to meet so many more new people, so many other people that I haven't met before, so I look forward to talking to you in a little bit. Thank you.
That's right. That's right.
I think I've been doing this for over 35 years, And I will say it's pretty amazing to see how we've gone from a typical Democratic committee to a group that is working alongside of it, but more or less you're bringing your own people into it. There are different ideas, there are different levels of, I guess, enthusiasm, if you will, different agendas, but in the end, we truly all are Democrats, and we believe in what Democrats stand for. And even though I think most of us, I've been a Democrat all my life, and we know what the Democrats stand for, but after last November's election, let me tell you something, if we don't all stand together, then we're all going to fall down. Because this country is going to be taken in a direction that none of us really want to see. It's going to take, let me tell you something, it takes energy, it takes enthusiasm, it takes ideas. Bill and Carla and I have talked about the local issues to sort of come up with a platform that the three of us will run on. It's a building process, but both of my colleagues that are running, I can tell you, have been active in the community for some time now, and with some success, I will tell you that. I mean, Carla's been with the Conservation Advisory Committee and done some great things for the community already. Bill has been enthusiastic about the economic development, and we're working on that in terms of trying to really spruce up Main Street and really look at economic development in the town of Cornwall. And the basic challenges we always face are trying to keep taxes down, trying to have good planning and zoning so that we can control the growth. We know change is coming. I think Cornwall has done very well over the decades, but we live here, we've moved here, or we've stayed here because of the character of the community. And I think that's one of the biggest challenges that we always face. Look around at some of the communities now and people can't wait to get out. So this is a goal as local candidates that we really want to focus on. So I'm looking forward to the campaign, working closely with Bill and Carla. We've got some ideas that we're going to put out there. And with Jenny running for county legislator and Deb Mulqueen running for county clerk. And with Pat Davis, who we know he's a stand-up guy. I mean, Pat has a great biography that he's bringing into this campaign. And if anybody doesn't think it doesn't count for something, believe me, it does. He's shown his enthusiasm and patriotism, Americanism, and he's going to bring that on the campaign trail. And he's going to identify at the county level, along with Jenny, some of the shortcomings that we've seen at the county level that have really failed the municipalities and local governments who have been trying to do the right thing for our residents, but oftentimes without the support of county government. So we're all in this together, so I'm really looking forward to the campaign. I thank you for hosting this. It's really a great event to be to, and we're going to focus on November 7th. So thanks very much.
In 1956, my parents came from Jersey City. They had 9 children here in Cornwall. I am the only one left. Where they go, they went to the South. They couldn't afford. I had brothers and sisters who served in the military. I connected with Pat. My brother Fred served in Iraq. He had 4 tours. And my brother Fred's role was he trained Iraqi soldiers. He spoke Arabic. And he went into some of these homes when they lost one of the soldiers, and he was with families comforting them. And I think of that when my brother asked me recently, why are you doing this? And I said, well, you know what? I had 3 of my siblings that served in the military. I need to serve in some way. I need to speak up for my community. And this just feels like the right thing to do. So I think about the skills. I've been a teacher in Washingtonville for 23 years. I lived in the city of Newburgh for 15 years because when I first married my husband Mark, who lived out in Mountainville here, and his family's been here again their whole lives, we couldn't afford to live here. It was just too expensive. So we worked hard and we were able to pool money together. My husband built a very successful business in terms of renovating homes. And we have a life here. We raised both of my sons, Brian and Eric, here. And Brian is still here in Orange County in Newburgh, and Eric is off in San Antonio, Texas. Why? It's a better life. My son was saying to me, of all things, can you imagine being 26 years old? I don't have to pay income taxes. My money goes further. And we think about that, and as I'm meeting kids, I shouldn't say kids, 26-year-olds, they're saying, life is hard. I have student loan debt. I can't afford to find a place to live. I'm still living with my parents. I didn't think this was going to be my life. And I hope in some ways that's going to fuel me. It's going to drive me. I mean, the elderly people, and they've lived here their whole life, and they're scared. They're thinking food, taxes, medicine, which one do I pick this month? It's just not right. I have been advocating on a local level. I have been advocating on a county level that we need to change the way that we actually collect taxes. Our home is our most important investment. I think we could all agree with that. We should be able to cultivate and grow it too. So I come up with 3 words of how I'm approaching my run for county legislature. Affordability, right, in terms of taxes, but also a livable wage and be able to support, you know, live at home. Sustainability. I lived at 38 Harold Avenue, which is right across the street from Laurel Crest Park. That used to be a ball field when I was a kid. And I could hike, you know, through the woods, and there was a horse on the other side. I think, I don't know whose horse that was, but I'm sure by today's standards I would be trespassing. But again, we need to have responsible growth. And I know every time someone complains to me about zoning and a new development coming in, I say to them, well, what do you think your house was at one time? It was a development. So we need to be smart in how we do this in terms of infrastructure, water, sewer, land. We need to find better ways in planning. And from what I'm seeing on the county level, the planning is gives me concern because they're behind on that. And the last thing I want to talk about is accountability. I recently attended a committee meeting, and they were actually talking about the creation of Palm Tree and the agreement with North Monroe. And it occurred to me, where's the communication? Where's the working together? When you're leaving people out of this process, then there's the mistrust. Then people are making decisions that are not informed ones. And the last thing I leave you with is some of the legislators have said to me, well, that's not my area in terms of the county, and they're not concerned about it. We should be concerned about the entire county. And I, as legislator, I'm going to be concerned about everyone in the county, because that's where we all live. We all chose this place to live, and we need to actually preserve and grow it. So thank you, and thank you so much for all of your support.
Thank you for everyone who carried petitions.
Yeah.
I've been carrying them for more years than I can remember, and it's tough. And thank you to our host and hostess very much. I appreciate it. So, does anybody other than Lisa and Sherry know what the county clerk does? Okay, the county clerk records your mortgages, your liens. We record name changes. We do passports. We do pistol permits. Someone's got to regulate the pistol permits, and in pistol permits, a police officer would have them, a security guard would have them, the Brinks people would have them. Someone's got to regulate that. What my opponent did is she actually circumvented the law, which is set down by the governor of the state of New York, and she just decided, well, I don't have to wait for the judges to look at the pistol permits. I'm just going to give my facsimile stamp to the sheriff's office, and they're going to sign it, and they're going to use my stamp.
Yikes.
Yes, thank you. Yikes. So, who reported her? A gun shop owner who's been in business for longer than most of you have been in the area. He's a legitimate man. He sells to police officers, he sells to security, he sells to people who have the legitimate right to have a gun. He reported her, and he wouldn't give his name because he was afraid of retaliation. And he said that in the paper. And this was in the Times-Herald Record. So, again, I have 20 years of service in the DMV. I am a director, and I've been a director since 2007. I work every day. Yes, I have my vacation time, and I have my sick time, but I work every day. My opponent comes in maybe once a month, because that's what's in the charter. She has to show up once a month. Would you like to have that job, show up once a month, get a paycheck? Isn't that great? No, I will plan to be there. I will plan to follow the law. And I want to thank you for your vote and your time.
Thanks.
I'm also not going to stand on the rock. I considered doing this from the tire swing, although I don't know if I could take care of that many moving pieces. Thank you to the hosts for having us, getting this group of people together. I'll give you a little background on myself, and I want to share a little bit about why I think this is so important. For those of you I haven't met, and I know there's a lot of familiar faces out there, I'm Pat Davis, running for county executive. I live in Monroe with my wife, who's also a West Point graduate, and we're raising our 2 young boys, ages 1 and 3. This community means a lot to us. My dad grew up in Newburgh. I was actually telling Dick earlier that my wife and I got our marriage license here. We were active duty out of Fort Stewart, Georgia, and we got married at West Point. It was sort of a reverse destination wedding where we came home, and we got our marriage license the day before in the town hall at Cornwall. So special place in my heart here. Look, why is this important? Look at what we've done here. Right, we've got hosts who just moved up from Brooklyn 10 months ago. You know, we just heard from a career public servant who's been doing this for decades. We've got folks raising their families here. We've got small business owners. We've got young Democrats looking to get involved. And this collection of people, it's just amazing. And the energy we're bringing to this. I would venture to say that this is not how things operate on the other side. Okay, I can't underestimate I can't understate the importance of this progressive movement. I can't think of a time in our nation's history, maybe back in the Vietnam era, when this was so important. Why is it important? We have a county government that has been dominated for decades by a single party. What happens when your government's dominated by a single party? We got big business come in, they make deals with the government behind closed doors. You wake up one day and there's a power plant going up in your backyard, or they're piping a pipeline through your backyard. It's simply unacceptable. I come from a background of service. Like I said, my dad's a Vietnam veteran. My grandparents were in World War II. I've worked in the Army. I've been in business for 7 years in the private sector. My opponent's been nothing but a political operative for his entire career. This is the machine we're fighting against. And I guarantee you that when they realize that they're threatened this November, they're going to spend and commit every single bit of resources that they can muster to go against what we're doing here. What we're doing here is trying to take care of our people, putting people over the political parties, and do the right thing. So, thank you so much for coming out, supporting a wonderful slate of local Cornwall candidates and county level candidates. You know, donating your money, donating your time, the petition workers, all that. Amazing. We got to keep the energy going for, what is it, 108 more days until the election? Yep. I gotta get a countdown on. Right. So let's keep the energy going. I'm sure I'll see many of you over the course of the summer. Looking forward to working with you and working for you as your next county executive come November. Thank you.